Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode on this public investment playlist series. If you follow this channel for quite some time, you know what I'm doing here. I fully disclose with total transparency what I'm doing on this specific investment portfolio. Full disclaimer, this is not my single portfolio where I'm investing all of my life savings and betting all of my career. This is just something for entertaining purposes, and I find it very interesting and in an accountable way for me to share when I'm in the green, when I'm in the red, each month what decisions I'm doing, so that in a few years I can look back and see, oh, so I was at this stage of my life and I was doing these decisions. Some of them will be good, others will be horrible, but hopefully in the long term we'll be here. I don't know for how long I'll be able to keep doing these videos, but as long as someone like you is watching along, I think this is quite good to keep up with this playlist, put it in this perspective. Having that said, let's open on the Trading 212 app, which is the brokerage account that we're using to track this portfolio. And as you can see here, we have invested a total of 1,993 euros, and our portfolio right now is worth 2,337 with a total return of 17.27%, which is really good. In past episodes you see me opening the app and the portfolio is absolutely on the red, but right now if I were to sell all of my investments I would have a really good return of 340 euros. Of course, here in Portugal I would have to pay 28% in taxes, but that's a topic for another video. So let's see how our investments are going. So Alibaba, Chinese stock, right out of the batch is down 20%. Google is up 41%, Amazon is up 60%, Farfetch is down 98%. So as you can see here, this is not all sugarcoating. I have good decisions, I have bad decisions, and maybe, who knows, in the future some of these positions might be a bit inverted. Intel is up 48%, but for a long time in this playlist it was down. The S&P 500 ETF is up 15%, which is a really big portion of this entire portfolio. The S&P 500 Information Technology ETF, it is a more focused ETF in a specific sector, is up 32%. This also represents a huge chunk of this portfolio. JD.com, another Chinese stock, is down 32%. Meta Platforms up, Pinduoduo up, Taiwan up, Tencent down, and you can see the rest. In terms of allocation, you can see here that the ETFs still represent a big portion, over 50% of the total allocation of this portfolio, so that we have a more diversified basket. Maybe in the future I'll be a bit more focused on individual stocks, but so far I haven't had that much free time. Right now I'm recording this video on a lunch break, so I don't have as much time to research on specific companies and find new opportunities. So I'm sticking with the dollar cost average strategy, where each month I'm contributing an amount, and sometimes I'll be at the top, sometimes I'll be at the bottom. Hopefully it will average out and I'll have a good return for Pedro in the future. So you can see here Alphabet, Google represents almost 9% of my portfolio, so I'm quite exposed to this company. So if I had Farfetch as 10% of my portfolio, I would have a performance of minus 10%, because that stock basically traded all the way to zero. And you can see other distributions. Vanguard, all world ETF, 5%, so this is over 55% in ETFs, so it's very distributed. On this specific month, I think I will contribute more on Chinese stocks, since they are so down, and I believe it for the long term. Of course, I can be totally wrong, which was the case of Farfetch, but I will also stick with my ETF, so I have a bit more, I'm a bit more protected in a way. Of course, you cannot speak about protection, because when it comes to investing, all of these assets are not risk-free assets or investments, so there's always a risk. So invest always money that you can afford to lose, or that I will not need this money at least to pay my next month's rent. So the pie that I created was 25% going to the ETF focus on the information technology sector, 20% is going to the S&P 500 ETF, so as you can see almost 45% is going to ETFs, and then 10% to all world ETFs. So 55% of my portfolio is going to a broad basket of stocks. I'm not betting on specific ones. Of course, I want to double down on Alibaba, it's going to be 15%, Walt Disney 10%, Alphabet 10% to keep that percentage up, and JD.com the 10% again. So let's confirm, or in this case I will just hit the X, because I didn't change this distribution that I made prior to this video, and we will invest on this. This is going to be the contribution, the first contribution of 2024. Let's go invest, and we've been investing 40 euros and 120 on 2025 for this year. I want to start contributing 150 euros for this portfolio. Maybe some months I'll be able to contribute less, maybe some months I'll be able to contribute more, but we are starting the year with a heavier contribution. You can see here 15 euros is going to Disney, 15 euros is going to Alphabet, 22.5 going to Alibaba, 15 to JD.com, and so forth. So confirm buy, okay, and this will be executing if all the exchanges are open. If not, we will have to wait until all of this gets executed. So let's give it a bit more time. And you can see here from past history the pies that we've been creating since 2022. If I had invested all my money in January of 2022 on the specific pie that we created, so the S&P 500 is here, the Focus ETF is here, Alphabet is here, Amazon, Alibaba and Tencent, I would be up 9%, 43%. Of course, there are other stages in this past. Okay, for example, if I had invested all my money on the pie that I created in August of 2023, I'll be down 14%. What did we invest? Of course, 15% was invested in Farfetch, so that basically traded all the way to 0%. This is why it's impacting so much. And you can see JD.com is also down and Alibaba is also down, and which would be a return of minus 13%, which is a lot. And this is why I like to distribute my contribution throughout the year, monthly. Some people do it weekly. I prefer to do it, and I also only have the time to do this once a month. I would be losing, and then other portfolios I'll be up. For example, last month I invested all the 120 euros and it's also down. Right now, let me see if everything has been invested. So 42% has been invested, so the rest will execute. So we'll see that in the beginning of the next video. So right now our portfolio is with 2,420 euros and the total investment 2,076 with a total performance or total return of 16.59%. Now it's a bit lower than before because we're contributing. I just purchased stocks right now, so it doesn't have any time to fluctuate either upwards or downwards. And with that said, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in next time. Bye.